Hello, hello, welcome back to my channel. It is me, SB. As you can see, we are continuing on with our tatting book series, or our vintage tatting book series. So let's go ahead and get into it. So let's go ahead and get started, and the way we are going to be doing this is we're going to be making true rings, and I will walk you through it, how to do true rings on a needle, a tatting needle. For this, you are going to have to cut your thread off of the ball, and you're going to need a good amount of thread. So yeah, just keep that in mind. For this length here, this is the amount that I got up until where you see the 2 strings coming out. I measured out 3 arm spans of thread. So I measured my arm span, and that was about 60 inches. So it was 180 inches that I did for this little bit here. From here to here. Just keep that in mind. If you are using thinner thread, you're definitely going to need quite a bit. But for this project, I just kind of measured out a length. And whenever you are doing this, you're going to leave a nice long tail off of your needle. And it just makes it a little more manageable when you're working with this length of thread. It just makes it easier so it doesn't tangle nearly as bad. And now we have our needle and our thread. This is the part that was cut from the ball. And we're just going to position our needle just like this, with the point facing towards the left and the end facing the eye. So let's go ahead and get ready to tat. And I'm just going to leave a nice tail here because we want to be able to weave that in later if that's what you're doing. And we're just going to get started with ring 1. So the first ring consists of 5 double stitches. 4, 5. Now with the picots, I would suggest on this first ring that you go about 1/4 of an inch. Here is my 3D printed picot gauge. And the 1/4 inch one is the second step right here. But if you have something else that you can measure your picots with, I would use that. I am not very good at using the picot gauge. But basically you just place it right there on top of your needle and wrap your first half of your double stitch on there. And then just complete it, and it should give you a perfect little picot, as you can see there. And the next one is going to be 5 double stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now we are going to close our ring. And since we're doing true rings, we do not have to tie off or anything. We just simply pull our needle all the way through and close up the loop. So I'm going to hold on to my tail here so it doesn't get in the way. Hold on to my stitches fairly tightly and just pull all the way through. Hopefully nothing gets tangled. I usually do this pretty slowly. And then we can pop that over like that and close our ring. And there we go. Our first ring is complete. And now, according to the instructions, we are going to reverse our work. And for needle tatting, we don't actually like flip it or anything. We can just continue by turning our work like that. And just like that. So we can work our next element. Alright, so now we're going to move on to our next ring, which is going to consist of a space. So our space is going to consist of just a bare thread space at a certain length. According to the pattern, it is going to be 1/8 of an inch. So it's going to be a very minimal space. And like I said, you can use your picot gauge and kind of measure and then place your needle right on top of there where you want it to be. Personally, I'm just going to kind of judge where I want the bare thread space to be, which is, I think that looks about right. And we're just going to continue on with our second ring, which is 4 double stitches. Picot. And I'm just going to start just eyeballing my picots because it's going to take too much time for me to grab the picot gauge. Picot. And 4 double stitches. Third picot, 4 double stitches. There we go. So we have 3 picots separated by 4 double stitches. So now we're going to go ahead and close our ring. I'm going to get everything situated first. There we go. And there's our next ring done. So we are going to turn our work once again. And that's what we should have so far. And now we're going to work our third ring, which according to the pattern is our large ring. And we need a space also of 1/8 of an inch. So I'm just going to kind of guess once again at where my space is going to be. And that's the beauty with needle tatting, is that we can just kind of stop and slow down and see how far that space is. And that looks pretty good to me. So as you can see, there is my thread space right there. And if you get it wrong, you can always undo it and do it again. But for our next ring, we are going to do 5 double stitches. That's 2, 5. And we are going to join to our first ring. So right here. And in order to do that, you're either going to need a crochet hook, or you can simply just use your needle to pass through. And I always go over and under because it's just easier to grab. I know that's probably not the right way, but that's just the way I do it. And then I close that up. So that's 1. And our next set of double stitches is going to be 2 double stitches. So that's 1 set of double stitch and 2, and we're going to add 5 picots separated by 2 double stitches. So 5 picots separated by 2 double stitches. So that's 1 picot. And we need to make another picot. That's 2 picot. And then 2 double stitches, picot, 2 double stitches, picot. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and here's our 5th one. And our last set of double stitches is going to be 5 double stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And that's what we should have. We should have a total of 6 picots on this element, including the one that we joined to. So let's go ahead and close our ring. And there we go. There's our large ring made, and then we're going to turn our work, or reverse, according to the pattern. We're going to repeat ring 2, and we are going to join it to this picot right there. So let's go ahead and repeat ring 2, and remember to leave our space. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to join to the third picot of the second ring. And then 4 double stitches, so that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Picot. 1, 2, 3, 4. Picot. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now we can close our ring. Got stuck on my other ring. There we go. And there we go. We're getting there. So now we're going to rotate our work once again. As you can see, it was facing this way, and we're just going to turn it like that. And we are going to work our first ring again. So we're going to repeat our first ring. And remember to leave our thread space here. Looks about right. Yeah. And it's going to be 5 double stitches. So 1, 2, 5. And we are going to join it to our large ring here. So we're going to join it to this picot right there. And then we're going to complete that double stitch, and we're going to complete our ring with 5 double stitches. 3, 4, and 5. And there we go. And now we can close our ring once again. So you can see the loop. I'll go ahead and close it. Alright, once again, we are going to turn our work. So it was facing like this, and we just flip it. And we are going to repeat ring 2 once again. Remembering to leave our little thread space, trying to get it as close as possible to our other thread space here. And ring 2, remember, had 4 double stitches. And that is 4. And we are going to join to our adjacent ring, which is right here. And complete our ring. Picot. Picot. 4. Oh gosh, what did I do there? I made a mistake. I kind of looped that around where it wasn't supposed to go. There we go. And that is our last ring of the repeat complete. So let's go ahead and close it. And there we go. That is the repeating pattern in this project. So yeah, now you would just start over from the first ring that we completed, which was this one here, and just go back through the process. Yeah, it's pretty neat that you can actually achieve this with a needle. I mean, does it look pretty similar to shuttle tatting? Let's compare. It is pretty dang close. Look at that. I mean, this needle tat one is a little bigger than the shuttle tat. But I mean, I'm not that good at shuttle tatting, which is why I do needle tatting. But here it is. Yeah, that's it. That's all you do. You continue repeating the pattern in the same manner, and you would have to attach new thread once you reach the end. It's a little more difficult for us needle tatters to attach new thread in this method than it is for shuttle tatters, but it is doable. Let me show you this example here where I was trying to make it really super long, and I did attach new thread here. As you can see, I did do it, but now we have like several ends to weave in. I mean, that's just the nature of it. But I did miss up on on the pattern itself, which is why I stopped. But yeah, I mean, it is doable, and you can get a pretty good length once you get rolling with it. I hope it gave you an idea of how to look at shuttle tat patterns and kind of switch it over to needle tatting. It is doable. Some patterns we may not be able to do simply because it's not possible with the needle. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that tutorial and you are enjoying the series thus far. And the next pattern that I'm going to work on, I think I'm going to try to work on maybe some chains, some ones that have chains in them. I'm not really sure. Let's take a look here at the end of this video. I will put up all the instructions on the screen at the end of the video so you can pause it if you so choose. I think maybe we'll try the next one, 838 here, and because it uses one shuttle and a ball thread because we have chains, and I think that one will be a lot easier for us to figure out. And we can use the ball thread instead of cutting it off the ball. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something and it was informative. Let me know in the comments down below what other patterns you would like to see out of the tatting book. And like always, the link to this book will be in the description box below. And I will leave the video where I printed this off, binded it myself, and now we have our own vintage booklet here for use at home. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Happy crafting. Bye.